My name is Tiffany Spraggins-Payne. I'm your host of Zigzag, which highlights women entrepreneurs and industry leaders of the science, technology, transportation, engineering, and mathematics industries. We talk to these women about their business models and how they differ from their competitors. Today, my guest is Bridgett Battles. Bridgett is the CEO of Bridgett Battles Enterprises, a full-service fashion empowerment firm committed to helping individuals, especially corporate professionals, enhance their personal appearance. Welcome, Bridgett.
Thank you, Tiffany. Glad to be here.
So glad to have you. So, Bridgett, I just want to kick off our session together with talking about fear, being fearless. When you hear the word fearless, what comes to mind?
Oh my gosh. So first of all, that is like such a great question because I turned 45 in May. And so my theme for this year is fearless at 45. So when I hear the term fearless, for me, it's a challenge. It's a challenge that I can do anything that I want to as long as I put in the hard work and as long as I change my mindset about what's in front of me and as long as I am consistent in my execution. So to me, fearless means going after it and don't stop till you get it.
Wow, that's powerful. This is a great start. So, Bridgett, I want you to talk a little bit more about how you got started in your professional career.
So, it's interesting that you ask me that because that's a question that I get often. And that question always does something to me internally because it makes me so proud of the person that I am now and the journey that I have taken. So being able to share my story, to me, it gives me a place where I can help somebody else. So just tying it back, when I first moved here to Philadelphia, I'm originally from North Carolina, so I hope you hear my accent because I plan to maintain it.
I hear it a little bit. I hear it.
But when I came here, as I was growing in my profession in healthcare, I wanted a mentor. And I never found anyone who was willing to mentor me. So what I decided to do was to create my own process and my own platform.
Okay.
So while I worked in healthcare at Temple University, I began to do my own research. So anything that I wanted to know, anything that I desired to go after, I didn't always get it right. But what I did was I came up with a plan so that I could at least chart my progress to figure out how far I've come so that it would challenge me to go further. So in doing all of that, my story kind of took on a life of its own.
Right.
So that I began to really have conversations with other ladies. I began to have conversations with other professionals. And in doing that, in the beginning, I started out having those conversations just as a hobby. And the hobby itself turned itself into a business. So I started out styling, selling accessories, doing everything fashion related and empowering women that it no longer became just a hobby. It became a revenue generating business. So it took me moving here, creating my own platform because I couldn't find someone who was willing to help me navigate the process of corporate America. So I decided, why not create my own? I never run from a challenge. I always run to it.
You're fearless.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Tell us a little bit about the work that you were doing in the health profession at Temple University.
Sure. So I've been in healthcare for almost 23 years.
Okay.
I started out as a residency coordinator for Temple University in orthopedic surgery. Prior to moving here, I worked in healthcare in North Carolina as well.
Okay.
So I've always had the business side of healthcare, not the patient side.
The
business side of healthcare because I am such a magnet to anything business related. So I began to just do anything business related where I could learn the ins and the outs of the business in healthcare. So it went from scheduling surgeries to being able to attend meetings that involve Joint Commission to learn policies and procedures, to career advancement, learning how to strategically set up your career so that you can grow, down to public speaking. So learning how to captivate your audience and so that they're able to hear your message and retain your message. Learn the difference between messaging and word choices.
And so this process that you've developed while you were at Temple University through having various conversations with other women and empowering them, talk to us a little bit about that process. Is it a proprietary process that you've developed? Is it something that shapes your business
So
model?
it's something that shapes my business model that I currently have. So it started out just as an internal process.
Okay.
And then when I started to see the fruit of my labor, I started mentoring other young ladies.
Awesome.
Yes. So I wanted to give someone something I didn't necessarily have. So the mentorship piece of it began to really ignite the flame for the process. So now I've adapted it into my business model, and it's how I live every day.
So talk to us a little bit about these mentors
Yes.
and mentee relationships that
Yes.
you've formed
Yes.
through your business.
Yes. So it is it's so amazing to me because I have 4 young ladies
Okay.
that I mentor currently. And one of them is at Loyola University in Maryland. One of them works at University of Pennsylvania. And then one of them actually works at Thomas Jefferson University.
Wow.
And the other one is in North Carolina. So all of these young ladies have a desire to grow themselves personally and to develop their own brand. So I committed my time to work with them because I see their potential.
Yes.
So it wasn't so much about them being able to pay me for my services or to coach them. It was more or less along the lines of me sowing seed for their future. Because I believe as a leader, the only way that you are effective as a leader is you create more leaders.
Absolutely.
And so I'm committed to that mentorship relationship. And I give them homework. I challenge them.
What kinds of homework do you give them?
The first thing I give them is to make sure they're clear and concise on who they are, the people that they serve, and the brand that they want to develop. How do they see themselves? Because how you see yourself determines how the world sees you.
And so as you're doing some of this development work with them, what does that process look like?
So it is a committed 6-month plan.
Okay.
I don't hold your hand.
Okay.
So the development process is this. Number one, you have to be committed to your work and to your mission because I'm not going to do your work for you, even though I'm not Ayana. You got to do your work.
Okay, right.
You have to do the work. You have to research your industry, develop your secret sauce, what it is about me that sets me apart from everybody else that's doing what I want to do. So the development work comes along with them creating a business plan, making sure you're in a place to network, making sure that you have your elevator speech, and most importantly, making sure that you are able to deliver everything that you've committed to.
I think that's a perfect segue into asking you, how have you set yourself apart in your particular industry?
Yes. So one of the things that I find that is my greatest asset, and that is what we call the Bridgett Battles Experience.
Okay, tell us about
the Bridgett
that.
Battles Experience. And that is I invite you into my world.
Okay.
I invite you into my world. And then not only do I empower you, but I give you a visual on how you can move beyond where you are to where you desire to be. In other words, I help you develop a strategic plan for your life and your career. Now, I'm not a life coach,
Okay.
but I help you develop your actual image and your presentation of yourself. Just like you have a strategic plan for your career,
Yes.
you have to have one for your image and for your life.
And so tell us a little bit about your educational background.
Yes.
So
this is crazy because believe it or not, I actually just graduated a couple of years ago from Thomas Jefferson University.
Congratulations.
Yes. So my degree is in business, and it took me a while to actually get my degree. I'm one of the ones who started out doing the work without the degree. And I do believe that it was, and it is still, God's favor that I've been able to get where I am without having an MBA. So I'm just grateful that, I was able to, I took a job at Thomas Jefferson University in diversity and inclusion and community engagement. So I was able to go to school at night and run my business for free. So I have no student loans.
That is awesome.
Yes.
So talk to us about how you were able to leverage your work and your school experience to shape your current business.
So it ties back to the one word we started out with, fearless.
All right.
And that is, I had to make a conscious effort that if this is what I wanted to do, I had to just do it. I knew that I wanted to play big.
Okay.
I did not want to play small.
Yes.
I still do know my potential.
Yes.
And I know where I add value.
Yes.
So what I decided to do was I hired a business coach.
Okay.
I hired a business coach, and she helped me frame everything so that I am able to capitalize off of my skill set. And so I no longer had to work as hard, but I could really apply myself to actually getting the work done. And, the other part of it is that I have to be totally honest with you. And that is getting a team was like it has been one of the most rewarding things that I have done. Mm-hmm. But I can also tell you, it was one of those things that I was like, whoa.
Fearless.
Whoa. I was like, whoa, because, getting a team, I knew I needed people to support me in what Absolutely. I was doing and to help me execute it. But at the same token, I knew I got to pay these people.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
And it worked out so well that I believe I have the best team ever. So, I developed a team.
Okay.
I have a brand manager who is consistently working with me. If you've seen any of my videos and my commercials, like he is just like top notch. I have a executive assistant who maintains my calendar, who makes sure that I get where I'm supposed to be at the right time and that I'm prepped and prepared. And she also gets me when I don't tell her things because I decide, okay, they call me personally. I'll do it myself,
Yes.
And then I have an amazing social media manager who consistently, she monitors what's going on in the social media atmosphere, making sure that I'm staying relevant, making sure that, my messaging is not confused and that it's clear and that people understand what I do. So having a team helped me be able to finish school.
Okay.
Having a team also helped push me to the next level because I overcame that fear of worrying about finances. Okay. I no longer worry about finances. I have a target amount I need to reach every month, and my goals are tied to that target amount every month so that I can make sure that I meet my payroll. So having a team, a business coach, and really just sometimes no sleep is how and I'm active at my church. So, okay. Sometimes it's just, you just do it. And I just love business. Like business itself.
Yes.
That is like the best thing ever for me.
So would you say you've always had an entrepreneurial spirit about you?
I've always had an entrepreneurial spirit about me, but it wasn't shaped.
Talk to us about that.
I always had the idea of business, but I did not have the concept and the plan right. When I first started my business, after I moved out of the hobby stage, I started this thing called $10 Tuesday.
Okay.
So I was so hyped. $10 Tuesday. $10 Tuesday. I would select a certain piece of jewelry.
Okay.
And what you would do is that I would post it on social media. I'll post it everywhere. And you could buy this one necklace for $10. And I was like so hyped. 1 week I got 25 orders. I was like, yes, $250.
Wow.
And then I started thinking, I went to the post office 5 times for $250.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Spending all those funds and postage.
Spending the funds and postage, but most importantly, my time.
Yes.
My time is valuable. So I shared that with my business coach, and I was so excited. I was like, if I keep doing this and keep promoting, 25 will turn into 50 and 100, and we just recreating. And she let me go on and on and on, and I was so animated, and I was just like, hype.
Yes.
And then when I finished, she was like, you done? And I was like, yes. She said, that's not smart. When we broke down the amount of time that I spent, the amount of time that it took me to collect from PayPal invoices, the amount of time that it took me to actually make sure that everybody got their package, I'd wasted more time than the money that I made.
Wow. So
it was then I knew that I had to have a system in place if I was going to do this and do it to the best of my ability. So I always had the entrepreneurial spirit, but I didn't always have the system and the processes in place. But today, I do.
There you have it. So talk to us a little bit about how this business coach has really helped you to stay relevant, but then also stay tactical in the business.
So she has done for me a few of the most amazing things. The first thing that she did is that she challenged me.
Okay.
She challenged me to up-level my prices. She challenged me to up-level my thinking.
Okay.
And she challenged me to, in other words, break out of the box.
I see.
Because there are 500 other people that sell jewelry like I sell. There are 500 other people that are entrepreneurs that speak very well.
Mm.
So she challenged me to really focus on my craft.
Yes.
And she challenged me to not only have a great presentation, but also have great content.
Yes.
Because you can have a great presentation, but don't have great content. And so what I pride myself in is, and this is one of my secrets, okay? So everybody, you get one of my secrets. So I don't teach first impressions.
Okay.
Yes, I don't teach that. First impressions are great. But what I teach are last impressions. When I walk away from you and leave your presence, do you remember me?
Mm.
If you remember me, then I, in turn, can become collateral for you. Because whenever you have a project, whenever you need someone to come speak, whenever you had an event, because you remembered me, I automatically go in your pipeline. So one of my secrets is always make my appearance or my relationship with you memorable. It's not always about trying to get capital or money up front. It's about developing relationships. Relationships will in turn produce revenue.
So talk to us about how you've been able to leverage your relationships to support the local community.
Yes, so I'm so excited to share this part with you. And this is like my first time really talking about it live. I have a web series called Coffee with Bridgett, which is like my absolute baby. Okay,
my new go-to on LinkedIn.
Thank you, Tiffany. Thank you. Did you see last week's episode? We talked about dating.
No, I missed that one.
So you got to catch that one. Last week's episode. This week we talked about hair care. My series, Coffee with Bridgett, it started out as a Facebook Live. And then as the business grew, we moved it into a production mode where it's an actual series. And the goal is to continue to pitch it so that it continues to grow. But what I am so passionate about is that Coffee with Bridgett not only gives, my viewers a chance to see and hear from me personally outside of images, because you can see images of me all the time.
Yes.
But to be able to hear from me personally, I think that in turn, develops and cultivates, the relationship that we have through social media. So Coffee with Bridgett has now totally just taken on a life of its own. And anybody that knows me know that I am an avid coffee drinker. I'm the girl that just got the Keurig because I was stuck with the Mr. Coffee because I set the coffee pot up at night before I go to bed. So in the morning it would brew, and that's how I wake up.
Wow.
Yes, I'm serious about my coffee.
Yes. I don't want to say you're a coffee snob, but would you consider yourself a coffee snob?
Probably.
Okay.
Yes.
We'll leave
I'll take it.
Yeah. It's a good thing.
Yeah, I'll take it. But I'm not a big Starbucks person. Yeah. So what we decided to do is that I met a wonderful group. I met a wonderful group who shared this story about a young man who was going to Philadelphia Community College.
Okay.
And he had been incarcerated. He had been incarcerated and gotten into some trouble, but he decided to go back to school after he got out of jail, and he met a mentor.
Wow.
The mentor owned Quaker City Coffee here in Philadelphia.
Okay.
Well, he decided to give the young man a chance because the young man knew how to sell things. He knew how to reach, certain neighborhoods. He knew how to reach other people. So he began to mentor him. The mentorship turned into a partnership.
Okay.
So after I heard their story, I had already started Coffee with Bridgett. I was just like, I got to have you on Coffee with Bridgett. We got to talk about this. I'm a coffee drinker. Y'all have coffee, and this is so good. So we just started just having really, conversations about having them on the show. And I didn't get a chance to really have them on the show yet. So during the conversation, the young man who went to Philadelphia community college said,
Yes.
your personality, we should work together. And I said, you know what? I agree. We should definitely work together. I said, I'm a coffee drinker. Y'all have coffee. Let's do something. I said, but what are we going to do?
Right.
Because at this point, I don't know.
Right.
I've never been to jail. So I don't know. I can give you entrepreneurship, skill set, what I have, but what we going to do? And so he said, what about, we get you a bowl coffee. And I was like, really? And he said, yes. And I said, let's do it. In my mind, I'm thinking, I don't know the first thing about anything but drinking coffee, what I like. I know about the beans, but I don't know the business of coffee.
Right.
So we started having discussions, and the discussions, became greater discussions. And finally, inked a deal with them to become partners. And in December, we announced that I'm going to have my own line of coffee called Bridgett's Brew.
That's awesome.
Comes out early spring. It will be out the latter part of April.
Okay.
And so Coffee with Bridgett, will drive the mission of, my coffee line, which is tied to helping, men and women who have been incarcerated to give them a second chance, all while drinking coffee. So it just made sense.
Yes.
And it just gave me that sense of, the sense of not only helping people, but the people were helping me. Because whenever you're helping someone else and everybody gets a return on the investment,
yes.
And I'm talking about the investment of really having acts of kindness, the investments of we can be the change that we desire to see. So the partnership has just been amazing. So I've gone to the roaster.
Okay.
I went to the roaster. I actually, ground up the beans. We did samples. So where, I tasted different mixes. We did the coffee to taste, what it tastes like with cream, with sugar, without it, when it's been sitting a while.
Okay.
We did several different formulas, and I finally settled on which one that I like. I love, so I drink it every morning now at home.
Bridgett's Brew at
Bridgett's
home.
Brew, yes. I drink it at home.
Will it come in a K-cup?
Yes,
form?
It will come in a K-cup form, and we're definitely going to do a few pop-up shops in Philly, and some tastings to invite, everybody to come, because this is a brand new market for me.
Okay.
To invite, people to come and to taste it. So not only am I giving to the community and helping the community is helping me.
I think that's so fascinating because, Bridgett's Brew was initiated through your YouTube, LinkedIn web series. So essentially, this YouTube, LinkedIn web series is a social enterprise, would you say? And so with this web series, how are you looking to brand? Because that's your forte as well, personal branding. How are you looking to brand Bridgett's Brew? Are you going to do some advertisements at the front and the back end of your web series? How do you plan to connect those two?
So we just had a meeting about that on Monday.
Okay.
So I've shot my commercial already for Bridgett's Brew.
Congratulations.
The commercial will come out soon. And then also what we will do is there will be a webpage where it will tie into everything that, the Bridgett Battles Experience produces.
Okay.
And it will tie in also with Quaker City Coffee, so you'll be able to get it in 2 different locations. So it will be direct marketing.
Okay.
It will be social media. And during the summer, I'm going to do one of the trucks where they will drive around town. So, yeah.
That's awesome. Do you plan to interview the owners?
Yes.
Of Quaker?
They'll be on Coffee with Bridgett. So it will be the owners as well as the young man who was incarcerated. He has an amazing story. I can't do his story any justice. His story is absolutely amazing. But yes, we will have a sit-down interview, all 3 of us talking about our partnership, talking about the mission behind the coffee, and talking about how lives have been changed.
Yes.
And then the next steps, because I believe that I will be the person who opens the door for so many other men and women who desire to actually whether start a coffee line, start a coffee mug line, or to do something along the lines of really going after your dreams, creating your brand, and most importantly, helping other people.
I think that's wonderful. Talk to us a little bit more about your fashion empowerment firm,
Yes.
right? And how you leverage technology to elevate this firm in the marketplace?
Yes. So my fashion empowerment firm, it started out because I love clothes and I love jewelry. And I used to watch my grandmother get dressed. And so in the South, we had this thing called a straightening comb. I don't know if they do that here in the North.
Yeah. Back in the day, my grandmother, I've been burned many times. Yes. the edges, yes. They're sensitive.
I would watch my grandma, and she would use the straightening comb, and she would use Dax grease. Yes. And even, she would straighten me and my cousin's hair, and I would just sit there and just watch her. And even when she was going to go out, she would always wear Clinique. Do you remember Clinique perfume?
I do.
She would wear Clinique perfume and Fashion Fair makeup.
Yes.
And I would just watch her and become so mesmerized. And I just wanted to do it all. I wanted to do it all. And so everything I watched her do as I grew older, I started doing it. And as I started doing it, I knew that for this generation,
yes,
I couldn't just say, this is what you should wear, or was the best cut for you. I had to have something else that would get you wanting to do the things that I had to offer.
Okay.
So what I did was a couple things. The first thing I did was I started sharing fashion advice on Facebook. Every morning I would give fashion tips. And so as I started to give fashion tips on Facebook, I had a publisher who started to follow me. And she says, have you ever thought about writing a book? And I was like, nope, not really. She said, well, I think your fashion tips, you should write a book. And I said, well, let me think about it, because right now, if I take on another activity, I'm going to have to quit eating or sleeping, one of the two.
Right.
And so I thought about it, and finally I decided I said, if I write the book, it has to be on my terms.
Okay.
It has to be where it's 30 days. Every day I give you something to do. At the end of it, you get a certificate.
Okay.
And it has pictures, so it's an illustration.
Is it a digital ebook or is it?
It's not digital yet. It will be digital, but it's a hard copy. It's sold on Amazon and on my website. And so I knew that if I wanted to get other people to get involved in what I had to offer, I had to give them something tangible. Right. And this generation likes pictures.
Yes.
So we put the pictures in the book, and we developed the book so that it's in a boot camp format.
Okay.
So the book is called Beauty and Her Battle, and it's a 30-day style guide.
I love it.
So we infused the book itself to really get the fashion empowerment firm to where it needed to be. So in essence, what we did was we used social media as our technology piece. We also used, I have text alerts. So I have text alerts that come out and go directly, to your phone where you hear from me directly. And so we started to use that platform, and now we're shooting how-to videos, how to, when you're going out for date night, how to when you have a job interview. So we're using those methods as well. Okay. And then also I had the opportunity to do a boot camp with the young ladies from Girard College. So nice. I took them all through my book.
Okay.
And then they all graduated at the end, and they got a certificate from me. So it's been all of those methods that have really helped me with the fashion empowerment firm. And then the next phase, which will come out in the fall, will be a full-fledged e-series where it will be videos and digital workbooks.
So you're able to provide your target audience, which is high school age girls?
And corporate professionals. Those are my two focus areas.
Thank you. You're able to provide them with the necessary tools to not only keep their professional brand intact, but to keep their professional appearance intact.
Correct.
Your initial platform was this book. And as a part of the book, you have the boot camp, and you leverage social media to promote the book, but then also provide different mediums for your target audience to interact with the book.
Correct.
I love it.
Yeah, so the goal is to teach transferable skills. If I teach you the transferable skills, then you are able to maintain what I've taught you even after I'm gone.
So, Bridgett, tell us a little bit about what success means to you.
Wow. So, success, in a nutshell for me, success means living life on my own terms.
Okay.
Success to me means living life I don't worry about tomorrow. I live for today. And most importantly, my biggest thing I live by, at the end of the day, I have to know that when I go home at night, I sleep peacefully because I've done what was right.
That's wonderful. So, Bridgett, if we want to connect with you, where can we access you?
Sure, you can access me at www.thebbexperience.com, or you can connect with me on LinkedIn. It's under my name, Bridgett Battles. And then I have a Facebook page called the Bridgett Battles Experience. And on Instagram, I have 2 pages. We have Bridgett Battles page, and then we have the BB Experience page, which has all of my products. My jewelry has everything. My Bridgett Battles page focuses basically on the lifestyle of Bridgett Battles.
Thank you so much. We love having you on the show today.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Oh, our pleasure. My name is Tiffany Spraggins-Payne, and I'm your host of Zigzag. And today my guest was Bridgett Battles. She is the CEO of Bridgett Battles Enterprises, a full-service fashion empowerment firm committed to helping individuals, especially corporate professionals, enhance their personal and professional appearance. She also has a web series called Coffee with Bridgett Battle. And for more information about Zigzag, you can follow us at www.theenterprisecenter.com. My name is Tiffany Spraggins-Payne. I'm signing off.
Hello everyone, I'm Ryan Martin, the production consultant for The Grit Live. If you enjoyed this episode of Zigzag, please share it with the world. If you have any feedback or would like to be featured on this program, please email us at thegritlive@gmail.com. Join us Thursday, May 3rd at Eats for Equity, a special fundraiser showcasing the Center for Culinary Enterprises and some of the businesses that you've heard on the Grit Live's programming. For more details, visit e4e2018.eventbrite.com. That's e2018.eventbrite.com. Thank you for listening.